Hi everyone, let's talk books, something that we love to do on this channel. Well, I love to do it. I hope that you like to do it too. In particular, let's talk books I read in April and books I'm going to read in May. It's the start of a brand new month. I love to do these monthly TBRs and wrap-ups, and I hope that you enjoy them. I'm even more interested to see what other people like to read each month, so please make sure to leave your TBRs and your April wrap-ups in the comments. It is very, very hot today. I've got all the books around me on my desk and I must say this is a massive mess. There are so many different genres of book that I am planning to read in May. The books I'm reading in May are as scatty as my brain is, so let the books speak for themselves. They're just all so different. So let's get to it. We'll start off with my April wrap up. Let's start off with a book that I wish I didn't read in April because I really did not enjoy it, unfortunately. So guys, I've had a very fantasy and sci-fi heavy year, which I love, my favourite genres. However, in April I fancied something light, fluffy, quick to get through, a light-hearted rom-com. That was all I was looking for. Not too much to ask, right? You wouldn't think so. I read Chase Me by Tessa Bailey, which is book number 1 in the Broke and Beautiful series. It's less than 300 pages, the font size is really huge. I liked the concept of it. It's about these 3 roommates who all live in an apartment in New York. This is a trilogy, so 1 book for each of the roommates. And I imagine that they're all going to be rom-coms. I wouldn't know. I'm not going to read the other 2. Now, I mainly picked this up because I loved the front cover. I thought it was cute, colourful. This book was atrocious. In my opinion, remember this is just my opinion, if you loved this book then I'm so happy that you did. This was not for me. It was not well written at all. It had no plot. The plot was smut. There's no spice rating on this book. I thought it was going to be a light, fluffy rom-com. Like, I do like a nice romance when there's a build up to it and it has a good plot. This one was basically 2 people meet each other, they immediately get that physical attraction and boom, smut for 270 pages. Didn't enjoy it. I'm annoyed at myself because I bought the full trilogy before reading the first one because I had really high expectations. I've heard loads about Tessa Bailey as an author, loads of people read her. This is not a strong book, but I've bought the other 2. Why do I torture myself in this way? Anyway, that was the first book I read in April. I rated it 2 out of 5 stars. The only reason why I gave it 2 stars was because I liked the setting in New York in an apartment. I've just always really enjoyed that vibe. And I kind of liked the male love interest. I hated the female love interest with a passion. She was so annoying. But the guy I really liked. That was the first book for April that I read. Would not recommend. If you've got any good rom-com recommendations, please hit me up because the most recent rom-com that I read before this one, I also didn't like because it was so poorly written. So please let me know if you have any good ones. I'm desperate for a good rom-com at this point in time. Anyway, in a massive contrast, let's talk about my possibly favourite book that I read in April so far, Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Completely different to the book I just mentioned. This was a 5-star read. I've already posted my review on it. I just couldn't wait. Normally I like to leave it until after I've done a wrap-up video before I do a specific book-related video. So normally I would talk about this quickly in the wrap-up and then upload my big review, but I just couldn't wait because I love this book so much and I needed to talk about it. So this is the second Hunger Games prequel, and this one is based on Haymitch's perspective and his Hunger Games. This book is really, really good. It is incredibly written, the pacing is spot on, the character development is spot on. It doesn't need to do a whole lot of world building because the original Hunger Games trilogy did that for us already, but I just absolutely loved Haymitch as a narrator, as a POV. He is a brilliant character. I thoroughly enjoyed my time reading this and it was just incredible. I would so highly recommend this. It was definitely a 5-star read. And it's also brutal, like it's so sad. This is not a happy book, not in the slightest, but it's just so emotive and it really makes you think deeply. It was very thought-provoking. I loved this so much. The next book that I read in April was actually for our April book club. So if you want to get involved in the book club that we run on this YouTube channel, it is free. All you need to do is make sure that you have read the chosen book each month prior to the live stream. By the way, I had a fantastic time at the live stream. Thank you so much if you joined. I really hope that you enjoyed it too. It was so insightful talking about this book with you. So this one is The Gunslinger by Stephen King, and this is book number 1 in the Dark Tower series. See what I mean about how different all of these books are? It's such a mixture. This was a short and sweet book. Again, it's not a very long one. It was a bit confusing, I'm not gonna lie. The plot, I couldn't even tell you what it's about. I still don't really understand the location. I loved the Wild West setting. It was like really Western vibes. It's about this gunslinger who is chasing the man in black across a desert. And he goes to a town and some crazy stuff goes on in the town. There were really strong parts to this book and there were parts that I really didn't like. It was a little bit of a mixed opinion for me. There were some parts I absolutely loved. Like there's a part at the end with some very, very powerful dialogue that talks about infinity and the universe. That was captivating. That was by far my favourite part of this book. But there were also some parts that I really didn't enjoy and made me feel quite uncomfortable and very confused. So yeah, a very middle ground book. I'm unsure whether or not I'm going to continue the series. I have not yet decided, so I think I'm just going to sit with that for a while. I'm in no rush to make a decision. But yeah, if you've read The Gunslinger and you didn't get to share your opinions in the live stream, then feel free to leave them below. I'd love to hear what you think to it, because it is a big mix. Lots of people have very different opinions on this. But overall, it was an enjoyable read. In today's video, I will also talk about what the book for May will be. So if you do want to get involved in the book club, then hopefully you'll enjoy what book we've picked. But I will get onto that shortly. And then let's move on to the book that I am currently reading, which is going to be my last book for April, because I am going to finish this today and it is still April as I am recording this. This is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. So this is book number 2 in the Farseer trilogy. Robin Hobb has a writing style I really gel with. What an absolute author. God tier level. I am loving this book. I loved the first book, Assassin's Apprentice, so much. I rated that one a 4 out of 5 stars. It was brilliant. A lot of people said that the pacing was slow. I do get that. I did not like that. Like, I absolutely loved that book. I didn't mind the slow pacing. However, if you are one of those people who is reluctant to pick this book up because you knew the first one was slow, this one is so fast paced and so juicy. The amount of plots that have happened in this book so far, I cannot even process. I might need to take a few days break after I've read this just to process everything that's happened. It's quite a big book. I think it's just shy of 700 pages. I've roughly got about 80 pages left, so I am definitely going to finish this book today. I am so excited. I have absolutely loved this. So far, this has been a very solid 4-star read. I can't imagine that that is going to change in the last portion of the book. We are building up to some very, very crazy plots right now, and it's already made me so excited to read the next one. I'm just so happy that I am at the beginning of this series because I've got so much left to read. Within Realm of the Elderlings, there are so many different trilogies and different series in this big wider series, and I'm only on the 2nd book, and I'm so grateful for that because I'm loving my time reading it. I don't want to rush it. I'm taking everything in, and yeah, I'm just so in love with this book. It's just been so nice to read. Fitz as a point of view character is brilliant. Such a likeable character, and considering the whole book is detailed through his perspective at this point in time, it would be a shame if you didn't like him. Also, the front covers are beautiful for these books. So yeah, I'm really excited to sit down later, maybe in the garden. The sun is actually out for once, and I'm going to finish this book and I can't wait. So those are all of the books that I read in April, so make sure to leave yours in the comments below. Now let's talk about what is on my TBR for May, so the books that I would like to read this month. Normally I set myself roughly around 4 books to read, however for May I've set myself 5 because some of the books are actually a little bit shorter than what I would normally read. When I'm setting myself like 4 books a month, they're normally at least 500 page long books. A lot of these ones sit within like the 300 to 400 range, I believe. So based on that, I think 5 is reasonable. So this first one, I'm really excited to read because I don't know much about it. It was given to me as a Christmas gift and I still have yet to read it. I also think that this is a book that has one of the most beautiful front covers I've ever seen in my entire life. This is a beautiful book. This is The Hurricane Wars by Thea Granzon. It might be Thea? Look at how beautiful this is. It's also got stunning purple sprayed edges. Based on reading the blurb, I think that this is a romantasy, an enemies to lovers trope. That is the vibe that I'm getting from this. I'm really excited to read a romantasy. I haven't read one in a while, actually. When was the last time I read a romantasy? It will have been earlier this year, but definitely not within the last couple of months or so, I don't think. So yeah, it's nice to dip my toe back into it after a nice break. Obviously, I've just been on the full die-hard fantasy, so it's nice to go back into the subgenre romantasy. But I have actually heard really, really good things about this. And it has a beautiful looking map at the front. You guys know I love a good map. Really excited to read that, and I will report back and let you know what I thought. The next book that I want to read in May is our book club pick. I'm really excited for this one as well because I've heard so much about it. Again, it's going to be a very different book for me this month, especially after reading The Hurricane Wars. I imagine this one's going to be very different. And I'm so glad that you guys picked this for the book club, so thank you so much for doing that. This is Red Rising by P.S. Brown. Now, again, I've heard very mixed things about this. Some people have said it's absolutely incredible. Other people have said it's mediocre at best. I am so excited to see what we think to it. I have the 10th anniversary edition here, which is golden. So normally this would all be red, but I got the gold version. But it does say perfect for fans of The Hunger Games, Ender's Game and Star Wars. Now I don't know much about Ender's Game, but I am a Hunger Games fan and a Star Wars fan. So based on that, I'm very excited to read it. And I just think it's nice to get stuck into something a little bit different. Switch it up a bit. This is why I like having a mixture of different books. There's so much to read out there. I'm fortunate that I'm somebody who does like a lot of different genres. I'm very easily pleased when it comes to books. As long as they're well written, I normally don't mind what the plot is. So based on that, I'm really happy that I've got such a mixture of books in my TBR for May. So if you want to get involved in the book club for May, make sure to read Red Rising. You can use ebook, audiobook, physical book, whatever takes your fancy. Or if you've already read it, then I would still love for you to get involved with the live stream. It will be on Saturday, the 31st of May at 7 p.m. BST. Alternatively, if you aren't able to come to the live stream but you want to get involved in the book club, then make sure to comment on the live stream video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, and I'll also do a full-length Red Rising review after the live stream where you can comment your thoughts and opinions on that video as well. Either way, I would just love to chat to you about this book if you've read it or are planning on reading it. I'm really excited for this. I think it'll be great. Okay, so next book. I mentioned earlier, I'm trying desperately to read a good rom-com. I'm going to hope that this is the one. This is Chasing the Italian Dream by Jo Thomas. Now, firstly, I love the front cover because it's Italian vibes. Secondly, I'm going to read this in Italy. I'm fortunate enough to be travelling to Italy in May. I'm so excited. I've been before and I think it's definitely my favourite country I've ever visited. There's no I think about it. I know, I love Italy. Been to many different parts of it and all of them have blown me away. So I decided I'm going to try and read a book set in Italy whilst I'm in Italy. I want something light-hearted, easy to read, easy to digest. Whilst I'm in Italy, I'm going to be doing all sorts of stuff. I'm going to be busy, I'm going to be sightseeing. I don't want a heavy book to have to try and process. So I'm hoping that this one is going to be perfect for the time, the place, and the activities that I'll be doing there. So this is about a woman who is a lawyer in Wales and somehow she inherits her grandfather's pizzeria in Italy. That is very Italian stereotype, isn't it? I'm assuming she's gonna fall in love with an Italian stallion. So I'm just really excited to read this. I think this will be a good one. Wow, there's a price on the back of this book. This book cost £1.25. Where did I get that from? Books don't come that cheap anymore. How old is this? Oh, it was only published in 2021. Where on earth did I get this book from for £1.25? That is so rare. If I find out, I will let you know because that is a bargain. Next book that I want to read in May. Now this one was on my April TBR, however I didn't get round to it, so I've rolled it over into my May TBR instead. This is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I've heard people describe this as the creepiest book they've ever read, so I'm excited to see if it creeps me out. I want to be creeped. Again, a really different book. So this one is a horror. Obviously Stephen King is the king of horror. So after reading a romantasy, a sci-fi, a rom-com, finishing off my current fantasy, I'm then going into a horror. This is such a scatty TBR, but I love it. Wouldn't have it any other way. I'm really excited to pick this one up and read it. I may read this one next, I'm not sure. because I really did want to read it in April. So I'm excited to see my thoughts on it. And if you've read this book without spoiling anything, let me know if it creeped you out, because that is what I've heard from many other people. I'm just going to go into it kind of blind, not really knowing too much about the plot. And I quite like the front cover actually. A creepy cat. I dig it. And then final book that I want to read in May. Now again, this one's kind of random, but I'm not gonna lie, I really like this series. I know it's so cheesy. Loads of people slate this series, but there's just something about it that I love. So I'm reading the next installment in the Dream Harbour series. This one is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. The main reason why I'm reading this in May is because it's set during cherry blossom season, and at the moment, all of the cherry blossoms have blossomed. Where I live is just looking absolutely stunning in blossom. The trees in the garden have come out looking all beautiful. And so I believe that this one is set around this time of year. So I would like to read it whilst the blossom is still on the trees. They don't last for very long. So I'm on a time crunch to read this. Again, it's going to be a cute, cozy book. It's not going to take me very long to read. This is the 4th book in the series, because they had the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which I loved, the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which I hated, that was awful, the Christmas Tree Farm, which again I loved, and then we have this one. So we shall see. I've also got the edition with the really cute sprayed edges that has pancakes and strawberries. I'm probably just going to get very hungry when reading this book. Not too much to say about this. It's a small town romance, and I'm just hoping that it gets me in the vibes for spring. So these are all the books that I want to read in May, and is this going to be a bad idea? Yep, I think it is. Oh dear, why do I do this to myself? And all the books that I read in April. Wow, this is kind of hard to hold both of these up. There are a lot of really random books here. I'm really excited for June to get stuck back into some of my heavier series. June is going to be the month of continuing series and then whatever the June book club pick is. So those are all the books that I read in April and the books that I'm hoping to read in May. So we shall see if I get around to them all. Let me know what books you read in April and what you're planning to read in May, and also let me know if you tend to stick to one main genre or like a couple of genres, or are you a bit like me where you tend to divulge into everything? Like, do you dip your toe into loads and loads of different genres and switch things up all the time, or do you mainly stick to like a select few? I'd love to know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it either way. Do whatever makes you enjoy books. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter what, as long as you enjoy it and it ain't hurting anybody else. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you like my content and you want to see more from me, then please subscribe because it's free and it means that you'll see my videos easier. I also just want to give a huge shout out to the Dragon Riders who are supporting my channel. Thank you so much, it means the world to me. You are so appreciated. If you'd like to have your name featured in my videos like this one, then please consider becoming a Dragon Rider, or if you'd like to support the channel in any way, then please check out the channel memberships. Thank you so much for watching this video, I really appreciate it. I will see you next time, or rather you'll see me, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now, happy reading!